Okay, welcome everybody to the Jacksonville Jaguars Season 3 off-season live stream. Or maybe the on-demand version if you're watching this on YouTube. But today we're going through the third off-season in this franchise with the Jaguars. Hopefully everything is good to go. Chris, can you please tell everybody to refresh? Or, I have a keyboard too. There. Sent the message. But today we get into the Season 3 off-season here on June 7th. Very happy with the series so far. But we still have some work to do. Certainly do. So, no green screen. The green screen's there. But I just kept looking at it. I'm like, I don't like the way this looks. So I put this blanket over it. And I like the way this looks. I know I'm not going to chroma key because my lighting is terrible and I have no room for better lighting. So I just decided to put the blanket there. It looks really good. It looks a lot better, actually. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. So, too much water. 7.8 or 8 point, whatever it was. Okay. So, as per usual, first few minutes are me just BSing here while we wait for the stream to fill up. And for those on mobile to actually have the stream available. I can't believe that's still a thing to where, like, mobile people can't watch right away. But, you guys aren't going to miss anything here early on. We'll quickly transition into the off-season, starting with free agency. Of course, it's the resigning period that comes up first. Would putting chat in slow mode for 30 seconds be alright? I mean, Chris, if it gets too out of control, you put it in slow mode. But right now, it's not too bad. So, no draft preview. I simmed forward, and I don't really have any way of showing you guys the progress. Like, I wasn't used to making the postseason on Madden 16, our first 2 years weren't as good. So, I don't have, like, the prospects to show you right now, so it's been a while since I've even seen them. But, obviously, we're going to go through, and I'm going to make sure my board is right. I'm going to make sure that I have everybody that needs to be on the watch list on that watch list. Where the hell is my pen? There it is. Only pens I use. And they're blue. Like everything else I own. Okay. I want to thank you all for joining me here today for the off-season. We're only a few minutes in, just still waiting for people to join in. But obviously, I've already recapped the season, so if you want more of a season recap, I'm not going to get deep into that. I already recorded a long video that's on my channel recapping the year and showing the game-by-game schedule and statistics. That's not what this is all about. This is about the off-season. So just to set the stage. Big improvement this year offensively. 11-5 team. First round, we made it to the divisional round of the playoffs thanks to a first-round bye. And ended up beating the Patriots before losing to the Steelers in the AFC Championship game. The team was a lot better in many areas, but there's still things to shore up, especially offensive line and getting more consistent pass rush. We only had 2 guys with more than 2.5 sacks last year, and that needs to go up to like 5. I want to have a very good team pass rush unit. So, we are about ready to get this offseason underway. We're a few minutes in. And I think we are good to go. If you guys are ready for the off-season, give me a Leon down in the comments section. Well, actually, I don't know if I should say that because you guys just say Leon for any reason. So how do I know if y'all even hear me? Please increase your audio volume. I get that a lot in here, but like it's not that it's too quiet. I don't know, maybe my setup is a little bit quieter than most setups are. But I'll try to get the microphone a little bit closer without being too ridiculous. Oh, look at the Leons pouring in. The Leon Daniels fan club is still alive and well after all these years. And Leon hasn't even played a down of football in how long? He's been over on my second channel, though, tearing it up on my Super Mega Baseball series. Definitely check that channel out if you haven't yet. I'm going to continue plugging it because I love the content on that channel. And I'm going to tell you guys about it. So, I think that things are about ready to get going here. You guys have waited long enough for my pandering intro here. And it is time to sim forward to the Super Bowl. And the matchup this season was between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. and I'm simulating the Pro Bowl right now. I know I'm very disappointed I can't tell you guys who won the Pro Bowl, if it was Team Lawrence Taylor or Team Michael Irvin or Jerry Rice or whoever it was. I'm sorry, I don't have the winner available to you. I know that y'all are looking forward to that. So, we are here prior to the Super Bowl, and we can go scout a little bit here, and what I want to make sure I do is get my watch list configured, and I typically just wait until the end to do it. So, it's not a bed sheet, it's a blanket, okay? Quarterbacks. I would like to get a backup quarterback this year for Nataki Mason, who is obviously going to be our starter moving forward. Unfortunately, there haven't been that many quarterbacks to really target. My favorite is Nathan Justice, who has good short and mid accuracy and good enough throw power from North Texas. So we'll see if maybe the 6-footer here is an option for us late on day 3, or like the third part of the hour-long draft I do. But early on, I'm not going to be targeting a quarterback this early, and these guys don't seem to be all that promising to begin with. There's a lot of comments in here about trading Bortles. I'm not trading Bortles because he's not going to be under contract. His contract expires as soon as I send him to the offseason. So I can't trade him unless I were to sign him, and I'm not going to do a sign-in trade or tag-in trade. No, I'm not re-signing Blake Bortles. I don't trust him enough as a backup. Simple as that. So what do we got here in terms of halfbacks? Obviously, I'm a fan of TJ Yeldon on here, and I don't want to like move on from him or anything, but I wouldn't mind having, you know, maybe a better backup. Challenge Denard Robinson a little bit, so you never know what's going to be available. So I just make sure I have some guys on the watch list. I always want to get a rookie running back every year, just because you never know if a guy can break out or surprise you or take the 2 good things he's good at and turn that into a nice role for you. So that's my running back little segment here. I'll put Calvin Ford on here if he drops. This guy's supposed to go undrafted. No thanks. Okay, fullback. I like our fullback a lot. Jameez Olawale. Wide receiver. I think we're doing pretty good here, but we do have 2 guys who are going to be free agents. So I have made sure to put a couple of guys here. Well, I've scouted quite a few. And here's Darren Reeves, who he was the Heisman winner, correct? I know I mentioned that in one of the late season episodes. Remind me to just do this while I scout, but watch list in order and not wait till the last minute here. But it's nice to show you guys all these players, and then I'm going to go through and scout and probably find a couple more guys that I like. Auburn with 2 good receivers. Yeah, I know. Madden's not always the most realistic, Chris. Okay, we got tight ends now, and I'm like Julius Thomas and Michael Riley. I've reiterated on that. Wouldn't mind a better 3rd tight end. Vance McDonald did not play a lot this season, but I don't think any of these guys were all that impressive to me. Now, one of the big concerns on the team is getting another tackle. Whether it be left tackle prospect or right tackle prospect, we need improvement there. I need to solidify this offensive line and not let Nataki Mason get sacked 40 times. So, we have impact and run block here. I'm looking for pass. If it's not pass, I'm not going to be interested. And these left tackles just weren't that good. I'll try scouting a couple more here. Is there someone who can surprise me? Probably not. Whenever I see toughness as their best trait, I move on. And this guy's a 3rd-round prospect. Probably not going to be too promising. I haven't scouted as much on the interior, although it wouldn't be a bad thing to challenge the guys that we have. And here's a good one, Antoine Jackson. So, center. This guy has some potential here. I've already watch listed him, so at one point I was a smart guy. Cut Franklin Fitzgerald. Get out of here. Not happening. Fitz is not going anywhere, and there are not many good right guards on this draft class. Up next, we have right tackles, and there were, thankfully, some good ones. And I've showed you 2 of my favorites And Lakeith Mason is one of the most promising here with B+ impact block and B- pass block. If I can get pass block up early enough, he could be viable even as a rookie. Run block's also already going to be in a good spot. Unfortunately, these guys down here show some promise, but I don't see their pass blocking, which leads me to believe it's going to be in the 70s. If it's not, it could be a B-, but didn't get shown here, but toughness is. Who are the other ones I like? Cameron Pendleton. I'll just watch list him, but man, I would like to see some blue chip linemen on here. Just aren't a lot. Hey, we got Remy in here, we got Chris in here, so the mods are going to keep things in order. Defensive line, we need to get some pass rushers. Maybe more than one, because we only had 2 guys last year with more than 2.5 sacks, as I've mentioned. I wish Madden logged pressures too, because that's another good way to determine production. I kind of have in my mind who was getting pressures, but it was pretty inconsistent across the board. Let's see, Melquan Jordan, B+ block shedding. That's good for run stopping, and I would like to get a run stopper off the bench, because Ziggy Hood isn't that guy for me anymore. He's gotten up in age, ratings have gone down, so now a backup nose would be really good for us to pick up. Let's see, Jimmy Duncan. I'll just watch list these guys. Power moves in pursuit. 6th round prospect if he falls, maybe. Not promising though. Let's see, right ends. Parker Brown. I think he was another draft story guy. I'll just watch list him for that reason. Good finesse moves here. Finesse moves here. Block shedding there. I always scout these defensive line guys down here. I have found some good ones. Antoine Dunn, Franklin Fitzgerald, and building that depth. I like to have a rotation. And I notice when I have a rotation and I'm keeping the starters fresh, it benefits everybody. Okay, Russell Collins here, 6'7", 294. I want to get a big nose tackle this offseason. Sorry I'm not getting to a lot of questions right now. That will happen. I'm just getting through this section right now. Here we go. Power moves and block shedding are both up, but he's a 1st round prospect without an elite trait. That always bothers me. Ooh, 3rd rounder. I'll watch list Alton Blake. Gilbert Collins. I like this. Ryan Hernandez. How about Artis Clay? Not great. I'll still watch list them. You never know who's going to fall. Some positions are really deep and that sends guys down a bit. Corey Taylor. Kind of intriguing here. Left outside linebacker. I like these guys here at the top. I have Macon Harper here, B+ power moves, so he actually has kind of a somewhat elite pass rush move at least for a 6th round prospect. Not much else though, so it could kind of be a one-trick pony. And you can pull that off if you're good at it. Nick McCoy. Alright, I need to scout this Brandon Bennett a bit more from Alabama, and they're saying 3rd round on him. I'll just watch list all these guys. How about Tremont Peterson? C+ tackle. I was hoping for like a B- zone coverage. Just blow my mind. No. That is not cool. Let's see. What else can I find here at linebacker? Not bad here. Some run-stopping traits for Tyron Duncan from Alabama as well. Maybe he's the better linebacker from Bama in here. Right outside backer, Stephen Gray, Johnny Reedy. And it still says this guy is a 1st round prospect. I'm not sure. I don't think I can buy that. Here's a guy that was very interesting. Emmett Gordon with his good zone coverage and good finesse moves. I think I talked about him as a potential Dakota Watson replacement, and Dakota Watson has good speed. He has decent zone coverage and decent pass rushing ability. Didn't play him a lot this year because Dan Skuta is a better pass rusher. He still didn't do a whole lot for me. I still scouted a lot of corners just because safety's still in need, and I love moving corners to safety and just having versatile players there. But am I probably going to draft corners early again? No, I think this time around we're going to change things up. DeMarcus Livingston, Tavarius Patterson. The coverage ratings on safeties in this game just aren't very good in the classes. So there really isn't a lot to put on the watch list. This guy here, Casey Love, good zone coverage, or decent. I call anything B- or above good. That's not like a tremendous, I'm not trying to make it a tremendous like compliment, but it is good. B+ power. Would like a little bit more size here, but that's okay. Okay, so that pretty much gets my watch list taken care of. And here is the top of the overall board. Who is my top prospect on the board? I'm not really sure, honestly. And the issue is that there aren't a lot of standout players at positions of need. And I want to address these needs because I haven't. Right tackle has been a problem. Offensive line hasn't been good enough, and I've missed opportunities for good offensive linemen, whether it be just being unlucky in the draft or not wanting to spend the money in free agency. So this year, need to make something happen, that's for sure. But yeah, I get around to scouting a lot of these players. There aren't a lot that I just miss. I mean, there are some I do purposely not scout. Like, I'm not too worried about all these cornerbacks. I scouted some of the better ones. But this is a look kind of at the entire board. Okay, B+ run block there. It's intriguing. I only have 9 more points. Let's go to defense. Any safeties I missed? I don't think I missed the safety. I knew it was such an important need that I didn't really miss any. I'll scout Dominic Floyd. Nothing. 2 points won't do me anything. And now we can sim ahead. Telvin Smith, the safety? Nah, I want to keep him as close to the ball as possible. I think he could play safety, but I think he's a better outside linebacker. Okay, so we're going off to the offseason now. Season 3 is complete, and we're preparing for Season 4. Best offseason ever was when all the Rams players declined your offers. That was a weird offseason. I think I managed to keep most of them, but they all rejected their initial offers, and I was so confused. So now we are in resign mode. We're in still latter parts of winter here. A lot of cap room, $66.5 million in cap space, because the Jaguars haven't had to extend a lot of great talent. They've brought in some key free agent pieces, but haven't done enough to really make them strap for cap. So, at this point, we do have a lot of key free agents. Brandon Linders and Derek Marks, who's a starter. Brian Anger, Allen Robinson, Sergio Brown, Reggie Nelson, Paul Posluszny, Vance McDonald, Chris Smith, Ziggy Hood, Blake Bortles, Marquise Lee, Ryan Davis, Spencer Paysinger, Jason Myers, Sam Bradford, Dakota Watson, Cooper Helfett, and Chris Ukulele. So, I want to start here with the top-rated player, Brandon Linder, 26-year-old guard. And he doesn't really want that much money. I know this doesn't really reflect his 90 overall rating, but it probably does. It's closer to matching his actual on-field performance. His impact block is not that good. His awareness is not that great. So, I'm not sure he really deserves to be a 90 overall. I think that's based on scheme. And I'm not sure if the contract is reflected upon scheme overall. But, I mean, I'm not sure how you get to a 90 overall rating with these, unless just something fits the scheme adjustments perfectly. So I will try to keep around Brandon Linder. Try to get this bonus a little bit higher, otherwise he might decline. Let's call it 13.2 over 4 years. A little bit more than he's asking for. Here's the first contract submission. Oh, I have to show you guys the Super Bowl results, that's right. And Linder's not on the list, and that means that he signed it. Or he retired, one of the two. So Linder has accepted, and I want to show you guys the Super Bowl winner. What do we got here in the news stories? We're going all out of order here. Jason Witten retires. The Dolphins watch Cameron Wake retire. The Pittsburgh Steelers won the Super Bowl 44-41 over Green Bay. So a very offensive Super Bowl, and the Steelers win it. Steven Jackson retires. Justin Tuck retires. Tom Bahali retires. All these guys changed teams, besides D'Angelo Hall, apparently. Preston Brown turned down the extension. Cordy Glenn turned down the extension and was tagged. Joe Thomas was tagged. Mike Evans was tagged. Jake Matthews was franchise tagged. The tag is highly used in Connected Franchise. A lot of cuts here. Anybody interesting? Kyle Rudolph was released. Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Desmond King had the best-selling jerseys, so all three from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there you guys see that. Let's get back to re-sign mode. How much cap room do I have now after that? 64. I'm in really good shape. Senderick Marks, 31 years old, has definitely not done as well as I had hoped. I wouldn't mind keeping him around. I wouldn't say his starting job is safe, and I would also want to offer him less money. So what do you say? $7.4 million here over 2 years. I doubt that his market would be great in the free agent pool, and it looks like he accepted my lower offer. So Marks is still here. As a starter, we'll see. Brian Anger now, the punter. 5 years, $16.2 million. This is why I keep tagging him. And they don't make it so like the franchise tag goes up for a player after he's already been tagged once. We'll come back to Brian Anger. Let's go to Allen Robinson, our starting wideout who wants a $16.6 million deal over 4 years. And I viewed him as a number 2 receiver because that's how he performs in the game. He doesn't succeed against the top corners. He doesn't make the splash plays as much. He's a reliable possession guy, and I think he's improving, but I don't think he's a number 1 wideout for us yet. But this contract here isn't something I have an issue with. So I will offer him 17.2 over 4 years. And Robinson appears to have accepted the offer, so we're doing well so far. Here is Sergio Brown, who wants 4 years, $22 million, so a shade over $5 million a year. I think Brown is good, but he's 30 years old, and I don't want to pay him this much money. I know I have a lot of cap room. I do have a lot of cap room. But this is one of those bigger contracts I'll come back to after a bit here. I have a lot of guys still to re-sign just to fill up the roster, so I'll have less space then, but I still should be in good shape. What does Reggie Nelson want? 1 year, $2.33 million. That's not bad at all. Keep it low in guarantees, as I can't guarantee he would make the roster next year. Probably would. And it looks like he has accepted, so they're taking it pretty easy on me here. Paul Posluszny, the veteran inside linebacker, 2 years, $9.1 million. I am not interested really in keeping Paul Posluszny around. He's just limited, and I've been grooming Stephen Cole on the bench and giving him XP because I want that guy to play. So I'm going to not even offer Paul Posluszny a deal, as I want to get Stephen Cole in there and maybe get another young middle linebacker. So the first guy I'm not offering a contract to, Paul Posluszny, sorry. Next up, Vance McDonald. I'm not sure what he wants. Oh my. Just no. No, Vance McDonald. You didn't make a catch last year. You hardly played. No. Next up, Chris Smith. One of our bench pass rushers. I would be interested in a short-term deal here at around $2.02 million. And he wasn't interested. But I wasn't all that interested either. I brought a snack with me today, too. I got some cashews. I always get hungry during these streams. Well, this time I had a snack ready. Alright, Ziggy Hood. He doesn't want much, but I don't think he really offers much either. His ratings just aren't good enough. So Ziggy Hood, I'm not interested. Okay, now we go down to Blake Bortles. Of course, the former hopeful future of the Jaguars franchise. His contract has expired. Did not play this year. Nataki Mason took over the offense and didn't look back. And I don't even want Blake Bortles as a backup. I want someone who is more consistent and not so sporadic with their accuracy. I would sacrifice arm strength for that. So Blake Bortles, good luck with your future endeavors. Marquise Lee. I think that he's done a really good job outperforming expectations in this series. And he doesn't really want much here. But I'm always leery of guys like this turning down my first offer. So I'll offer him a little bit more than he wants, and we'll see if he takes it. That's a lot lower contract than he should be asking for. And he wasn't interested. This happens so much. I'm not sure what to offer, so I'm afraid of offering like too much. So Marquise Lee will test. Keep in mind, first round pick last year, Keyston Holiday, could easily be a slot receiver for us. But Lee has been reliable, and I still want to keep him around. Ryan Davis. No. Where do you get asking for that? What? No. Ryan Davis and Chris Smith. I'm not sure if you guys share the same agent as like Vance McDonald, but y'all are crazy. Or no, Chris Smith wasn't the crazy one. I think he wanted a small contract, and I was still being stingy. Spencer Paysinger. I mean, maybe at some point if I'm still desperate for a backup linebacker. That's all he has ever been is depth. And a spot starter when Telvin Smith was injured. Next up, we're going to skip the kicker. We'll go punter and kicker last. I almost said Spencer Bradford. Sam Bradford. And his long uniform sleeves, I've never understood why he and Matt Castle do that. But I'm going to be looking for another young passer, and the mid-accuracy is not great. The short accuracy is adequate, certainly, but there's not enough here to be, like, too interested in right now. So we're going to be a one-quarterback team for the time being. All right, Dakota Watson. Now, I've talked about finding his replacement, but at the same time, if I can't, and even if I can, there still might be a spot for him on the roster. So Dakota Watson, I would like to keep you around. I'm not tagging Bradford. You know what the quarterback tag is worth? Okay, so we signed Dakota Watson. Now Cooper Helfett. I'm just going to pass. I want to go get Taj Riley again and see if he can maybe make the team once more. So you could see a fair share of new faces on the team this year. Chris Banjo is up next, and I will keep him around with no guarantees as just depth. But you got to be able to find a better safety. Those ratings aren't that good. And he didn't like my offer. That's okay. So now we have the punter, kicker, and safety, Sergio Brown. I like Sergio Brown quite a bit. And I want him to stick around for like another year. I can't offer him that 4-year contract, and I'm still actively looking for maybe another safety, although we saw how bad the class was. So I'm thinking like a 2-year. I like Sergio Brown a lot. And I know he hasn't been that popular in the comments section, but I think Sergio is very good in run defense. I think his pass defense is underrated. And I'm offering him a 2-year, $9.6 million contract. He didn't like it. So we'll come back to Sergio Brown later. Now, I just want to write this down. Sergio. 2-year, $9.6 million. That was my initial offer. I want to see if I can get him for less. I want to see what the market looks like. I also could try tagging for $6.64 million. But I still have cheap tags for my punter and kicker. Jason Myers I want to keep around. Kicker is just one of those positions that's not, you don't have to look a lot into on Madden to figure out, what to do as far as finding a good one. So I have one, just stick to him. So I will give him 11.3. Jason Myers, stick around in Jacksonville, please. And it looks like he did. We're down to $52.2 million in cap room. That's plenty. And now we have Brian Anger, who I would like to see be able to get better bounce on his punts. That still really bugged me. But I will just, let's see. Do I tag Anger again, or do I tag Sergio Brown, or do I not tag Brown? What do you guys think? Do I tag Sergio Brown? Just ensure he gets that 1 year. I like Sergio. I think not tagging him would be too risky. And with all this cap room, we're going to tag him. And now we're left with Brian Anger as the lone free agent. And I'm willing to offer him, he wants a little over $3 million a year. What about 3 years, let me raise your bonus. Yeah, you want some money up front? I'll give you some money up front. So now, this would be $3 million a year. Let's get him for 10.8, 3 years. I got a nice bonus in there for you, Brian. I think he liked the bonus. Brian Anger's a bonus guy. Okay. So that was a pretty straightforward re-sign sequence. We have accepted offers from Linder, Marks, Robinson, Nelson, Notley, Watson, Myers, and Brian Anger. I was able to save some money, too, on a few of these players. Not bad. Okay. So from here, we are ready to move forward. Stage 1 of free agency is up next. I will be saving it quick just to make sure everything that's happened remains happened. Didn't realize the microphone was still on the camera. Maybe you guys liked it there. Maybe you guys liked it. Let me save it quick. So now, what do we need to do in the off-season, or the free agent period now, to help solidify this roster? We have cap room to make something happen, and it's time to see what we could potentially make happen. $42 million in cap room available. That's a lot. And here we go. Harrison Smith is available, and he wants, like, a lot of money. He just got paid like 5 years, $50 million, something along those lines on an extension. Check retirements. Let me come back to this. I'm out of order all the time. Man, I don't know if I can pass on Harry the Hitman. I missed my chance for Xavier Rhodes. I'm hyped up now. Harrison Smith, that could be awesome. So now we have retirements. Dan Connolly, Brandon Merriweather, Rashad Jennings, Otis Hudson, Steven Jackson, Mike DeVito, Tony Romo. Whom, was he already replaced? I forget. Tom Bahali, we saw Dwayne Bowe, Vernon Davis, Philip Wheeler, Brandon Albert, Brent Grimes, Cameron Wake, Darnell Dockett, DeMarcus Ware, Ryan Fitzmagic, Brian Hoyer, Brandon Browner, Tavares Jackson, who actually would probably be a pretty good backup for what I want. I'm not sure if his ratings would have translated at this point. Peyton Hillis was still in the league. And then we have various re-signings here. Look at Joel Bitonio. Look at that contract. Franchise tag to Joe Thomas. Franchise tag to Mike Evans and Tyrann Mathieu. So how come Minnesota wasn't able to keep Harrison Smith? Cam Chancellor re-signed to a big deal. They tagged Jimmy Graham. Because they had to pay Teddy $20.3 million. That's why the Vikings probably don't have Harrison Smith. So now, guys, it's time to potentially make something happen. Harrison Smith. Let me see his ratings. 86 speed, so down from Nelson, but 93 zone coverage, 92 hit power at 6'2", 214. He is the physical presence I want in that secondary, and I know I already got done franchise tagging Sergio Brown. And Smith could play strong or free, like Reggie Nelson is in there as well. Best as a single high safety dude. So Harrison Smith. Of course I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Are you kidding me? Harrison Smith wants 6 years, $42.9 million, so around $7 million a year. And I'll do my due diligence here and just look at all the safeties available. As I backed out a little bit too far. But I'm trying to get Harrison Smith. Free safeties. Trey Boston's available. Ricardo Allen. Hey, let's bring Byron Maxwell back. Strong safeties. Calvin Pryor. Deon Buchanan. Barry Church. George Iloka. Iloka would be a great get. What do Iloka's numbers here look like? 84 speed. 93 zone. I think that's on par with Harrison Smith. And he's bigger. 84 hit power. But Harrison can play both safety spots. Very good tackling, very good pursuit, awareness. Everything is so good here. I'm comparing him, though, with George Iloka. Let's see, Iloka's awareness is lower. His tackling is certainly lower. Block shedding is 67. Pursuit 71. Yeah, I think Harrison Smith is a lot better when you look at more than just speed, zone coverage, and like hit power. So I'm giving an offer here to one of the best safeties I could ask for. Harrison Smith wants quite a bit of money. Steal both the Bengals safeties. Okay. I'm always confused. Like, the desired contract, is he actually... I always forget how this works. I ask you guys this every time. I'm sorry, but I only do the offseason every now and then, so it's not enough time to remember. Desired contract, is that including bonus, or is that just the salary, and I have to add these two together, and it's actually closer to 60 over 6? Let me know. I'm going to set it up here close to what he wants, a little bit over. This would be here a $63 million deal over 6 years, a little over 10 a year. Give him 50 with a 20 bonus. I might have to get to that point eventually. It says bonus next to the salary. I realize that. Okay. So is this right? This is right here. This is right. Send this. Confirm it. Let me see confirm in the comment section. Just because I'm always so unsure here. I would like to see this interface improved in Madden 17. And I would like to see a year-by-year breakdown. And be able to do what I want. He is 29, don't sign. That amount of years at 29 years old is kind of concerning. Okay, so the confirms are in. Yeah, so this contract would run through age 35. I don't think safeties go down as much as other positions. If you look at Reggie Nelson, like, he's fine, and I believe he's 34, 35 at this point already. So, let me see if I can knock this down to 5 years. I want to see where the interest lies if I make it a 10 million average or 11 million average over 5 years instead. Just take a little year off. So I make this more like a 17 bonus. Still give him quite a bit. And now I need to make this closer to a 33 or 34, 35. So this here would be a 52 over 5 offer. And the offer has been made. He likes the length. Salary amount and signing bonus, not so much. And the Dolphins are already the highest bid. So, maybe I'll just go back to what I had. You guys don't want to see me mess with it too much. Let's go to 6 years. Let's go to 20.5 million. And we make this a $43 million salary. So now it's 63 over 6, getting close to 11 million a year. Now he loves the length, but we're still competing with the Dolphins, the Vikings, and the Redskins. So how high do you gotta go? This is a lot of money. It only went up a little bit. Man, getting Harrison Smith is going to break the bank. If I want Harrison Smith, it is not going to come cheap. 72 over 6. Still not even the highest. Are you letting him play quarterback, Miami? What is this? Look at his desire versus what I've offered. I need to see what else is available. I still have the cap room here, but I need to see what else is out here. Oh. David Carr, or Derek Carr. Kellen Moore's a free agent. Alex Smith. Tyrod. Wouldn't be bad to give Tyrod just an offer. I wouldn't be willing to guarantee a whole lot for him. We'll come back to Harrison. I'm thinking like a 1 year, $3 million contract. So I made that offer there to Tyrod Taylor. Halfbacks. Look at Jamal Charles, who's about to get super paid at 31 years old. Then Jeremy Hill. These guys are about to just... This is interesting. He's got a broken toe. 78 speed. So Lynch, I gotta make a 1 year offer at least. There's no bids. There are no bids. I keep hating how I mix up my proper theirs. That's besides the point. He's slow, but might be able to replace Rashad Marshall. Very, very interesting here. Ooh, Devontae Freeman's available. Okay, that's an option if I want another back. CJ Spiller. There's some interesting options. 83 speed, though. Spiller's no longer an interest to me. Wide receiver, there's Brandon Marshall, Julian Edelman, Martavis Bryant. That would be interesting. Jordan Matthews, Deshaun Jackson. Tight ends. Oh, Virgil Green. What do his ratings look like? The run block isn't too bad there. I'll make an offer on Virgil Green. I'm not going to give him a big offer. I like Virgil Green. Is this what you guys tune in for, to see me get excited over a third tight end? I overlooked Kyle Rudolph down there too. But the blocking isn't good. He's not fast. Yeah, I see why he was released. I'm seeing a lot of comments about Deon Buchanan as well. And we've overlooked the ability to dress tackle in this offseason as well. Here's Nate Solder wanting $7 million a year. Then at right tackle, we have Jack Mewhort. And then a big drop-off. What do Mewhort's ratings look like? Really good pass or run block. Yeah, I'm not feeling Mewhort. How about Lael Collins at tackle? If I kick him to right tackle, is it really that much better than Zane Beadles? 83 strength isn't very good either. I think I'll pass on Lael. And then we have Nate Solder here, whose strength is higher. 94 overall. Greg Robinson, who has really good strength and pass block, is not even going to warrant an offer. Let's go to pass rusher. Bruce Irvin. I don't want to pay that much for a pass rusher. That's the thing. So Mario Williams, I'm more interested here. Power's good. Strength is good. Block shed isn't great. Scott Crichton from the Vikings. Hasn't developed. Now, I would have some interest in the Mario Williams. But it's another situation where I'm offering a 1-year contract. Let's see, he wants 7.5. Oh, you have to combine those two, right? So it's like 10 over 2. How about right end? Not trying to break the bank here for a pass rusher. Defensive tackle depth. There's Pot Roast. Really good block shed, really good strength. I mean, this is exactly what I've talked about, isn't it? Terrence Knighton, the ex-Jaguar, it writes itself. Wouldn't be bad to take Haloti Ngata from Pittsburgh either. So he's kind of my second option here. Oh my, Anthony Barr is a free agent. But he wants a lot of money. I missed out on him in my last franchise. There's Preston Brown. Good for him. 92 overall. Avery Williamson, James Laurinaitis, Ryan Shazier. He likes the location. He likes him some Northern Florida. Right outside backer, Akeem Ayers. Block shedding and power moves make him kind of intriguing. Maybe I'll come back to it, but Ben Wickery about to get paid. A lot of bids there. Jason Verrett, Kyle Fuller. What do Jonathan Banks' ratings look like? Probably not better than Demetrius McCray. My negotiations. Or where is everybody? All right, Harrison. Man, he wants so much money. or he's going to get so much money, more than he wanted. We're at 72 over 6. And we still have to go up. I just went up 5 million more. It's not affecting anything. This is wild. This has just become an $80 million offer. Are you kidding me? He's not worth that much. Now everybody's telling me to pump the brakes. So I still want Harrison, but I'm going to have to backtrack my offer a little bit if he still wants to come here. Actually, what if I was able to make this a really good bonus? Call it like 28. And then I offer him, what salary matches up here? This would be 60 over 6. What about this offer here? This right here is like 64 over 6. The signing bonus goes up, salary goes down. I'm going to keep it at that. You guys have talked about Deon Buchanan. Coverage isn't great. Speed is. Hit power is. I think I'll pass. I'm more interested in George Iloka. But I think I want to let it go forward a stage before I make an offer. So my negotiations so far, I've offered to Harrison Smith, Marshawn Lynch, Mario Williams, Terrence Knighton, Virgil Green, and Tyrod Taylor. Now, before I forget, I do want to make an offer to Marquise Lee. I forget what I offered him before, but he might not have a lot of options. 3-year contract. Yeah, he should be asking for a lot more just based on his production. Although last year was only like 30 catches. Still should ask for more. So why don't we sim ahead and see where this looks. Going to stage 2 now. We'll see if we ended up with anybody. Are there any new Jaguars on the team? Contract accepted by Mario Williams, so that is the only one I will acknowledge. Still has to fight to make the team, though. So I'm going to go... Before I look at the scouting, I want to look at this board again, just so I can edit my draft board after I see some of these negotiations continue. So we're the third highest bid, it looks like. I don't like our chances to land Harrison Smith. Only bid on Marshawn Lynch. Only bid on Terrence Knighton. Only bid on Virgil Green and Tyrod Taylor and Marquise Lee. So it's not a lot of excitement here. League signings, though. What do we have? Nobody big. No one above a 78 is signed yet. Let's go back to available. You guys have mentioned Anthony Barr. With 3 teams here in the mix at least, 15 bids, he's getting way more than his desired contract. And I just don't want to get in that race. D. Ford. Finesse and power are there. I mean, maybe we can put a flyer out there for D. Ford. He wants around $2 million a year. So I'll offer him this deal here. How about a middle linebacker? Man, getting Shazier would be pretty cool. Derek Johnson. There's pause. Can you imagine Shazier on there with Telvin Smith? And obviously Rolando McClain. 83 block shed. He actually has some pass rush ability there too as well. Good hit power. Zone coverage is manageable. Man coverage isn't great, so he'd probably be my 2-down backer. I've put some investment into Rolando McClain's coverage. So I think we have to pull out of the Harrison Smith sweepstakes. It's gotten too crazy, and I think we can do some different things now with that cap room. Like offering to Ryan Shazier. Now the Raiders have the highest bid, so if I give him, you know, what he's looking for here, which is not unreasonable whatsoever, how do things look? We become the highest bidding team. Okay, 25 years old, this would be exciting to get Ryan Shazier and add another great piece to this defense. I know we have Stephen Cole there too, but Cole certainly isn't on the level of Ryan Shazier. And then I would like to make... Oh, man. Alright, I'm not interested in Iloka anymore now that I've seen that contract. That's a pretty big contract right there. I mean, I like our safeties. They certainly aren't bad. Why are you guys bidding this much for Harrison and Calvin Pryor? Please get Pryor and open up Harrison Smith again. Any under the radar tackles I've overlooked here? Probably not. Deon at linebacker. I have a lot of linebackers. I don't really think that it would help out a whole lot. So let's go into scouting now, and unfortunately, there aren't any good safeties in this class, really. Well, Casey Love is intriguing. But beyond that... Oh, combine numbers are in. Forgot about that. So let's look at some of these top prospects now. Let's go to the safeties and look at those guys first. Casey Love was intriguing. 4.57 40. 11 reps on the bench. Looks like he has somewhat good agility. So the change of direction there is nice. He's a little bit undersized. Hit power is good. Coverage is adequate. But for a first rounder, this to me isn't a guy I'd take in the first round. Let's see. Show me some high combine grades here. Here's TJ Lawson. 4.46 40. So we have a fast safety here. A little bit more size. B+ hit power. Projected early second rounder. And my talent says he's a mid-first. So even though there's a C+ catching there, a lot of things have to be in the C's for that to be true. Good shuttle time. So TJ Lawson is intriguing here. I probably said the word intriguing like 50 million times in offseason. Look at this combine. That's intriguing, isn't it? Wow. Man, if we didn't have so many corners already, I have a hard time getting them all on the field. But it's fun to see how good some of these guys are. Let's check out Stephen Gray. 6.7 combine grade. Looks like he's pretty good with nice change of direction. We know the pursuit is good. So I'm pretty confident in his abilities here as a run stopper. in the middle here. Not a lot of standouts. Kyon Foster, one of the fastest here and one of the strongest. I guess I'll scout him. Still projected to go undrafted, though. Why don't we go to pass rusher? That's still something I want to address. And these early guys didn't have the most impressive combines, sadly. Would like to see some more strength, but speed's there. Corey Hunter, 22 reps is better. He's not much of a pass rusher, at least from what we see here. Melquan Jordan, 33 reps. Yeah, let me look at my watch list in particular. Parker Brown. He's strong. Good hit power. What's his pass rush move, though? I don't know, and it's risky. That early to take a guy. You don't even know what his best pass rush move is. And don't know what his block shed is. How about Will Little? Finesse move is good. Like the vert and broad jump. AJ Ayers. Finesse was good. Can I just look at my entire watch list here and look for some big combine grades? Look at the 3-cone, the agility here from this guy. And he had the best 40. Cullen Griffin. Good power and block shed. Then a drop off. DeAndre Parker. 4.41 40 at 6'4", 227. Wow. There's something here for sure. Receiver, though, not a big need for us. He should go a lot earlier than we draft, too. I gotta think of more of these second-round prospects. The running backs look like they're intriguing. Charlie Phillips. I trust that third rating. I don't need to scout it for 15 points. Okay, TJ Lawson. Do we look at him yet? Yes, we do. He's fast. So we know that. Antonio Mosley. No standout combine grades, but overall solid. 3 in the top 5. That's good. At his position. Alright, Caesar Greenwood. Second round prospect. Very, very good. Man, we don't need a corner, but I almost wish we did because these guys are impressive. DeMarcus Livingston. Strong. Playmaker. Antoine Jackson. That's what we like to see. Very strong guard. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how early I can really afford to take a guard. Unless I wanted to kick someone else outside to tackle. And speaking of tackles, where is that right tackle I liked so much? My favorite right tackle was Lakeith Mason. And he had the best strength. 41 reps. That guy's probably still doing his bench press right now. Yeah, Lakeith Mason's going to be a pretty key target for me. We have 2 third-round picks. So that's the range where I'll be looking to take him. We'll take a look at Cameron Pendleton. 32 reps. Pretty good athlete, too. We just don't know his pass blocking. But Lakeith Mason, I'm looking forward to this. You guys want to see Jabril Mack. Did I already look at his stuff? I'm getting all these names like confused, so I'm sorry. I just saw it, too. Oh, the cornerback. Yeah, that guy's nasty. But still, don't forget I have Gordon Solomon who needs to play. Let's go to left tackle. No one on the watch list. Defensive tackles. You know what? We're at that stage where I need to just start looking at players who are unscouted but had high combine grades. Cedric Rock. Fast, strong, can jump. Good to know. Jordan Beck. Wait, a safety? Oh, a fullback, not free safety. Anthony Peters. Nope, but he's fast. Brandon Hunter. No, not interested there. Chase Hudson. No thank you. Darren Slaughter. Jordan Hilliard. B+ elusiveness, B juke, and B trucking. So that's an interesting, perhaps undrafted player. JC Shed. Another one of those guys. Should save the rest for guys who are probably going to be drafted, though. Good 40 here. That's the best. Zach Hunter. Can't throw, though. Any tackles I've missed? Yeah, I made sure I got the tackles. Not this guy, Michael Blake. Diamond in the rough? Actually, might not be a bad backup. I don't know. Put him on the watch list anyway. Any really good pass rushers that I perhaps missed on? Interior or edge, whichever. I'm interested in Philip Boyette. Not anymore, though, unfortunately. Dexter Lee. No, I want standout stuff to look at here. Running out of guys to scout. I'm just looking for stuff that isn't even there, like a blue chip safety. Where can I uncover one of those? Maybe the supplemental draft. Or there I'd find like an average safety at best. Let's see. Alright, I need to spend these points. So let me go down the list here of every prospect available. I have 27 more. Let's get to know a few more prospects. Second round prospects are here. This could be someone we have to target in our first pick, and now we're on to third. But a lot of receivers, don't want to scout too many of them. I scout a lot at the top. Connor Ward. Yeah, you guys want to see Mac at safety? Well, what do I do with Gordon Solomon then? Early pick last year. Who I still think can play. Actually has a lot of similarities to Mac. You guys wanted Solomon last year, now you want the new fast, athletic, super athlete. Okay, I know you guys want to get on to the draft. We're going to get there shortly. Seth Marsh. B+ power? Okay. 6 more points. Let's find a low-rated player. Guard. Toughness. Alright, now we can move on from this stage. To stage 3 we go. Are any more players? Jacksonville Jaguars. Perhaps Ryan Shazier. Why are you getting beast mode for? Short yardage and some extra power. Rashad Marshall has been that guy, but hasn't done a whole lot for us. So we get D Ford and Marquise Lee. So Lee sticks around. How many more stages? Is stage 4 the last stage? I forget how many stages there are. Well, let's view these free agents. League signing, Solder to New York. Calvin Pryor goes to Miami. So, does that mean Harrison Smith is available? It has to, because he's not on this list. Is playing the long game here going to pay off for us? Let's look at my negotiations. Now, the Saints want Marshawn. The Bengals want Knighton. We're it for Shazier, it looks like. Virgil Green has some competition, or we have competition for Virgil Green. Tyrod to Philly, potentially. There's no way they can pay that much for 2 safeties. I want to know just if I give him the base offer again that I had initially, does it look any better? Because could Miami honestly keep the same offer out there after what they just gave to, what's his face? Oh, apparently. Well, they're going to have some pretty good safeties, I guess. Now let's go back to available players. And oh boy, Mike Daniels. That's a lot of money. So are there any other quarterbacks I should think about bidding on? A.J. McCarron? Not a big fan of the accuracy. Matt Stafford? Something to consider. Kirk Cousins? No. Geno Smith? No. Stafford might be a capable backup at this point. I'll just give him the 1-year offer now and take it off of Tyrod because we're going to lose that one. Eagles can have Tyrod. Just sign another safety. I should look and just see. Iloka's still there with the Eagles bid. Cersei's there. Getting a backup here would be a good thing for us, and I'm not sure if the draft's going to give us much. Sendejo, after that heartbreaking interception, can we bring him in? Jeremy Miles. Okay, I'll bite. So offer him around $2 million a year. It would be exciting to bring in Shazier, and he is right there. Any other running backs I should maybe offer if Lynch is getting too big of a bid? I'm not sure it's going to be anybody in the 70s worth looking at. And as I say that, Jerick McKinnon. 93 speed. Where's 74 strength? Give him a little bit of respect there. But I think that he's too similar to our other running backs. So if I'm going to get one, it's going to have to be someone who offers more strength. Like Stephen Ridley, but that carrying is going to scare me off. LeGarrette. Trucking and carrying, stiff arm. What do you guys think? LeGarrette, Blunt? Maybe I can wait till after the draft on McKinnon, or on Blunt. I was reading McKinnon here. Mac for quarterback. Now we're just going off the deep end. So this draft is going to be pretty important because a lot of these 1-year offers just aren't working. I would like to get Virgil Green, but I don't need to be that aggressive either. I don't want to. I don't feel like scrolling that far down to find Taj Riley right now. If I can't find him later, then good for him on another team. He has no interest in any of my stuff here, so I'll just withdraw the bid for Virgil Green. Marshawn, like, there's not a ton of interest from some of these guys. Stafford's interested, Miles and Shazier. But Knighton and Lynch. Might have to find, how's Haloti Nada doing? Does he like the location here more? What did I offer Knighton? I offered him 3 over 1, or 3.4 over 1. So I could give him a little bit closer to 5 and have that competition. Or there's Haloti Nada at 340. So it's 91 strength, 89 block shed, 95 awareness, 93 play rec for Nada. And then Knighton has 91 strength, 93 block shed, 81 play rec, 84 awareness. So I would prefer to make an offer on Nada. And we know his role would be pretty basic. He can still get paid a pretty good amount for it, and I'm willing to pay that for a guy that can reliably help stop the run. Just 1 year. What if we bring up the guarantees? Maybe knock down the total contract a bit. Now we are the highest. 5.5 over 1 year. To do like one job for us, and that's to help stop the run. Luckily, we have the money to like think about moves like this. Otherwise, it would be pretty crazy if I didn't have this kind of cap room. Man, I really wanted to get Harrison Smith. That would have been so exciting. And I was thinking about just putting an offer out there and just seeing if he will accept it over Miami. So I want to keep all 4 of these on the table. But I'm just going to put out an offer there for Harrison Smith. Just to say, just so I can get that ribbon that says at least you tried. That's all I want. I just want to try. I mean, all I'm offering is $63 million over 6 years. That is so much money, though. You know what? I'm going to improve my signing bonus. That's the one thing I'll do. More guarantees. Knock down the total value. This here would become 60 over 6, or 61 roughly. And I'll leave it at that for Harrison Smith. Kane wouldn't do this if he wasn't a Viking. Now, you guys got to give me credit. I have not done a crazy job of bringing in Vikings to my franchise teams or offering them huge contracts. It's happened very little. When I do bring someone over, it was like when I brought in Everson Griffin when he was low rated, or Rhett Ellison. But there haven't been any extreme examples of me just like paying big for a Viking that I like a lot. And is obviously one of the best players at their position. So, I think we're ready to sim forward. We are. Well, not yet. Scouting. I almost like don't even want to scout more. I've already scouted so much. And I'm not sure I can uncover more. Maybe I'll look for a late quarterback. A+ throw plower? Power? Man, none of these guys have good enough short accuracy. It's all I want. Looked at a lot of running backs. Why don't we scout the best fullback? Not much there. How about late receivers? I got to give Vladimir Mims some competition. Angel Briscoe. Receiver from Minnesota. How about a late tight end? Dwan Cole. Can he block? Maybe. Then we'll put these last points into Ryan. No, not him. Combine grades low. Let's go Jared Ballard. I wish I had a few more points, but projected undrafted guy. I'm assuming there's a drop off there. I'll still watch list him. So now to stage 4. Go after Melton. He'll help you on the pass rushing. He destroyed you in your Rams franchise. I should have looked at Henry Melton's ratings. I'm not sure how high his overall was. But in terms of pass rush, I am looking more towards edges. And I'm pretty happy with my interiors. And now, here we go. Why do I... Okay, declined by Harrison Smith, accepted by Ryan Shazier, accepted by Haloti Ngata, Matt Stafford, and Jeremy Miles. So we did not get Harrison Smith. I tried. I keep taking Michael Riley off the trade block, and I think it puts him back on. I'm not interested. He's not for sale. I don't care if you're offering me a 2. No. Look at that. They're offering me Montrell Sapp. No. Michael Riley is going nowhere. And there's Leonard Williams. I've talked about maybe trading for him last year. What do the Jets even want for him? Corner, linebacker are the 2 targets for him. And that would get us Leonard Williams. I kept Senderick Marks. I picked up Haloti Ngata. We have Franklin Fitzgerald and Antoine Dunn. I just think it'd be a little bit risky, giving up too much of what we have here for Leonard Williams, who I think is in the last year of his contract upcoming. So let me look at these transactions. I'm going to save it quick, and we're going to see how much Harrison Smith got. The Dolphins just made 2 safeties, like the 2 highest paid players at their position. They weren't messing around. They just wrote a blank check. I have a little bit more scouting I can do too. Alrighty. James Laurinaitis to the Cardinals. Let's just go to the Dolphins. I gotta know. I gotta know what they did. Where is he? 6 years, $85.5 million. Wow. That is a lot. I'm just pulling up this calculator here. Just want to see what that is exactly per year. $14.25 million a year. No wonder we didn't win. And they gave $11 a year to Calvin Pryor. And then they gave that to Brandon Cooks. How much money do you have? Is there a cap in this league? Like, doesn't matter? That's almost $200 million in 3 players. Who else? Ryan Davis almost got 20. They gave John Brown over 3 a year. They gave this guy over 3 a year. They gave him some money. Kevin Pierre-Louis. They're loaded. They were. Dream team. Put the Dolphins on the schedule. I want Miami. If they're not on the schedule next year, no season 4, it's canceled. You gotta be kidding me. Someone do the math and let me know. How much money did they spend on free agents that weren't already on their team? Between Davis, the safeties, Cooks, like between $200 and $300 million. They're just throwing around money like baseball teams do. I just can't believe whenever I see like a $300 million contract. Like, can you even sleep the night before you offer that? Like, as the billionaire? Like, can you still, like, does that make you nervous? Like, one guy, $300 million, he could, like, fall off a bicycle, and now that money is wasted. This stuff's crazy. Marshawn got $5+ a year. Look at the Dolphins roster, Kane. I'm going to. And they better play us next year. Drew Brees, only slightly higher paid than Harrison Smith. Stephon Diggs was available, and I passed. Give me credit, guys. Denoris Cersei got a nice contract. How does he have 1,500 people? I love those questions because I don't Twitch stream that often. But for anybody not familiar with me, like I have 140,000 subs on YouTube. And I come to Twitch to do my off-season streams here. And we all have a good time every now and then with these off-seasons. It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't already done so, hit that... Go to my YouTube, youtube.com/MrHurriicane. Someone hit him with a link. Chris or Remy or if Mike's there, one of you guys. Can you please put a link in there for those that aren't already subscribed? If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is it. MrHurriicane and MrHurriicane LP, my second channel for sports content. A little bit more than sports on my second channel, but mainly sports. You know, it sounds like the Xbox reveal if you look at my channel. Minus the TV. Thomas Davis gets $6 million. So I think that's enough. Oh, Blake Bortles. I just missed it. I just missed it as I went back. Thank you, Dark Falcon. You look like you haven't slept in months, man. I know, I've always looked like that. I don't know if there's a weird shadow that gives me like dark circles. I get like 6 to 8 hours a night consistently. I don't know. I'm trying to get up earlier, but I'm not like losing sleep. Blake Bortles is the best quarterback on the Rams. I hope we play them next year so bad. We need the Rams and we need the Dolphins. Rams plus Dolphins. Just writing that down, no context. I'll remember later. Oh, man. Let me see this Dolphins roster now. Ndamukong Suh, Harrison Smith, Olivier Vernon, Calvin Pryor, Mike Pouncey, Brandon Cooks, Jordan Cameron, Danny Trevathan, Thomas Blake, Kyrie White. So they've brought in all these players and made good draft picks. Interesting life. And this team has spent a lot of money, and I want to play them. Week 1, give me the Dolphins week 1. Give me the Rams week 2. Then you can make it tougher. Give me the Steelers and the Packers right after that. This is nuts. Miami trying to buy that Super Bowl. Can't fault them for trying. So, who was that player? He was on my watch list that I had discovered but couldn't scout because I had foolishly used all my points already. It was Gerard Ballard. Who I'm probably call Jonathan Bullard like 8,000 times if we take him. He's good. Maybe. He's also from Florida. That's too close. Okay, more available players. I've scouted so many. Chris Duncan, why not? He's got a good vert. Alright, what else we have here? Raphael Bishop from Butler. Any bigger receivers here? Sean Bernard from Kansas. Maybe some of these tackles could impress, or maybe they couldn't. And that's why they're projected to go undrafted. Let me find some depth here in interior line. Oh, man. Scouting a lot of mediocre players. That guy, though, Brendan Russell, run blocker. Any more pass rushers? You're not getting a 5-second 40. Not out of a right end for me. Although, what did Jared Odrick run? He's a big end on here. Although his starting spot isn't necessarily safe, but we'd have to really address pass rusher. There just isn't a blue chip guy I'm really targeting in here. This draft is going to be a very interesting one, I feel. Hopefully in a good way. Ooh, Calvin Beckwith. Interesting. Denard House. Watch list. Morgan Mendenhall. 6 points remaining. We will go Bryce Griffin, or anybody who has a standout combine skill. I want a standout combine skill to get these last points. Man. Okay, this guy has standout skills, and I don't have enough points. Can I just borrow one? Maybe I'll get him undrafted. Devon House's brother? Yeah, I like those storylines. Any running backs here? Gant Blake. No. Malcolm Taylor. Matt Beatty. Let's plug into Malcolm Taylor there. No, his elusiveness now. Alright, guys. That was a very long free agent and scouting and re-sign period. And now we're going to move on to the draft. So if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to look down in the description for the Part 2 link and go there for the draft. But for those of us watching live, it's time to transition to the primetime event of the offseason.